Why are we talking about authenticity? Why is it so important to be authentic? Why is it necessary to have a challenge to show up authentically? Like, think about that, y'all. I know I had to. The whole point of an authenticity challenge is to be honest with yourself. Who have you been this whole time? So, if I haven't been authentic, that means that I had to really sit with this thing and unpack it, y'all, because this is a challenge here. And I'm like, we can't start off the challenge without talking about authenticity and why it even matters and why we haven't been. So, the opposite of authentic is inauthentic, fake, fraudulent, counterfeit, not being or expressing one's genuine self. Okay, if I haven't been my genuine self, if I haven't been honest, then that means that I show up in life dishonestly and inauthentically, right? One of the things about this challenge is going to be not overthinking it. That means just showing up with what you have. I have a little bitty $12 microphone that I bought off of Amazon. I'm using my iPhone. I think this is a 12. It might be a 12. I don't know. I have notes. I have not scripted anything. Number one, I had to ask myself and reflect, why have I been showing up inauthentically? Who taught you to hate yourself, Keish? Why did you feel like you had to show up as somebody that you were not? It was ugly. The answers that I came up with, because it really took me back. It wasn't just one situation or one scenario. Who rejected you when you did show up as yourself? Did someone make you feel bad for being the funny, outgoing person that you are? Did someone make fun of your laugh or how you talk, your voice? All of these questions came to mind. For me, makeup was a really big deal at one point in my life. I felt that there's no way I can show up in person at an event or even online without any makeup on. I remember when I was working on being courageous enough to leave the house without makeup on, and I did so. And the time I did it, I was harshly rejected. And I know that sounds unbelievable, but it was unbelievable when it happened to me, especially because the reason why I wasn't wearing makeup is I had just experienced a loss and I have been crying so much that I knew if I wore makeup, it just wouldn't make sense. I would be wiping my eyes, wiping my face, sneezing. I mean, not sneezing, blowing my nose, things like that. I showed up and this person was close to me. We were close in as far as relation, but not close as far as connection. Okay, does that make sense? Anyway, the first thing they said to me was, I know you putting on some makeup, right? It's like they were so shocked and appalled that I showed up somewhere without any makeup on, because in their mind, there's no way you're doing anything without makeup. But when they said it to me, I'm like, I was such a people pleaser that I said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to put on some makeup. I'm gonna put on some makeup." Like, it threw me off guard because I couldn't believe that that was the first thing that they said to me, and I had been in mourning, feeling like there's no way I can show up as myself because myself is not good enough. The skin that I have, the face that I have, my voice, how I talk, it's not good enough. I have to fix it. I have to tweak it. I have to become better, because that's when I'll be accepted. I have to have the right clothes and outfits. Always more. I cannot show up as myself, so I have to be somebody else. I have to be something that I'm not, because who I am isn't good. Honestly, it's not a pretty conversation that you're going to have with yourself, but it is necessary in order to see, okay, if I'm not authentic, who have I been and where did this person come from? I've been on this path of really learning myself. What do I like? What don't I like? What type of friends do I want to have? We can be so supportive, loving, and kind towards other people. We can show them so much compassion and empathy when they're going through something. And even when they dress up or we see someone just really exuding so much confidence and light, we love to compliment them. We love to tell them, yes, girl, yes, you are doing it. But for some odd reason, we just cannot tell ourselves that. We cannot hype ourselves up. We cannot love ourselves enough to show up who we are. Why don't we like the sound of our voice? Why don't we like our lips or our eyes or our nose or our hair? Why don't we like ourselves? Where do we learn this from? It is so important to be kind and loving to you. All you have is yourself first and foremost. Before you have anything and anybody else, you have yourself. So learn her or him. love her or him? I just had to ask myself all these questions so that I can learn who I am again and unlearn things about me that shouldn't even be there because they're somebody else's voice. I'm listening to other people's voice in my head. These are not the thoughts that I told myself. And so let's go back to what authentic is. Authentic is genuine, honest, real, and original. So if I'm being anything else other than quiche, then I'm not original. I'm being something, I'm being somebody else. So who is it that I'm being and where did she come from? Learn your strengths and your weaknesses. I used to hate that question on a job interview. And the reason why I used to hate it is because I knew it was coming, but I never was prepared for the question because I never sat down and asked myself, what are your strengths, Keish? And what are your weaknesses? It is essential to know that. And there's no reason at this point in my life that I should not know the answers to that. So ask yourself, number one, learn yourself. Number two, what do you like? What don't you like? What are your strengths and weaknesses? Where do you need a little bit more improvement in? Have some grace and know that there's so much that I have learned that I probably learned the wrong way. During my isolation season, I wasn't going out much, didn't really have a social life at all whatsoever. Unfortunately, I had to disconnect from a lot of people. I was being called to separate and heal. I was hurting people anyway. I was hurting other people because I wasn't being myself. I wasn't being genuine about what it was I was going through, what it was I was feeling. And so therefore I'm showing up just off for the sake of being there. I wasn't being real with other people because I hadn't been real with myself first. I did my best to unlearn some things about me, learn what it is that I actually like to wear. My closet was full of clothes that were not me. I had to get rid of a lot of things. You know that it's showing your body a little bit more. You'll get more attention if you wear it, but you don't feel good about that kind of attention. You know that that's really not genuinely who you are. So during this whole like transformation phase, I got rid of clothes. I started really trying to educate myself, reading books, trying to become spiritually grounded, spiritually led, really finding out what matters to me and not what was taught, not religion that was taught to me, not these false ideologies that was taught to me, not the systems that are in place or what was said to me growing up as a child. It's been so much that I had to learn and unlearn. It takes a lot of time. And so an isolation season is necessary. I know there are people out there that saying that that's not healthy. It's not healthy to be alone. Not for long periods of time, I would say. It is a spiritual practice to spend time alone in order to learn yourself. Found my identity in the Most High, and then he's helping to shape me. It's like I can't show up authentically me if I don't know me. And then if I don't know me, then how can I love me? Hold on, my phone battery going low. And if I don't love me, then how can I expect other people to love me? Loving myself is really taking being a best friend to myself. Looking at myself in the mirror without makeup on and saying, you know what, you are beautiful. You don't need makeup. And looking at my strengths and my weaknesses and not as my weaknesses as things that make me less than, but just areas for improvement and just being honest with that. And when it comes to a matter of authenticity, really, who have you been showing up as? And what else did I write? Yeah, who am I when I'm not trying to meet someone else's expectations? What are your interests? What are your values? What do you have to say about it? Instead of thinking about, man, what will somebody else think? What will they say? What do you think? What will you say? Do you like it? Do you love it? Then that's what matters. Are you being led? Are you being obedient? Have you been called to do the thing, to say the thing? Really, this is your path. This is your journey. This is your life. You have to learn yourself, love yourself before you can expect anybody else to. I used to think that it was something wrong with that. Oh, it's selfish. That is a people pleasing mentality. We should care and nurture for ourselves. The Most High wants that. Why would He not want His children to be their best? Why would He not want His children to show up in the way that He created them? I'm so grateful and appreciative that you guys have decided to join in on this challenge with me. that lets me know that I'm not alone. There are so many of you who are also hiding in the shadows, who have this fear of showing up confidently, who may not even know who you are right now. You're learning what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a mother, what it means to be an entrepreneur, all these things. We're learning, and I'm glad that you are taking the plunge to show up in the midst of you learning so that other people can see how you're doing it. I want you to do it. I want us to do it because I know that we're capable. We may not be ready, but we're equipped. We may not feel ready, but we're equipped. Okay? So we are ready. We are ready. Thank y'all so much for being here with me. I appreciate it again so much. I will see you in the next video or in the next post. Remember to show up as yourself today, authentically, unapologetically, shamelessly, who the Most High created you to be. Just be you. You have the light that the world needs. Alrighty. Thank y'all for being here with me. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.